Alright guys, we're back again. Today's going to be the full shoulder and arm workout. Um, so going to do the positions of flexion. Start with an upright row. That way there's a little bit of trap involvement, so that's kind of the mid-range movement. Alright, this is the depletion workout. So sets of 10. That first set's just a warm up. Rest about 30 seconds, then I'll do the next one. All right, that set was a little bit harder. I would still classify it as a warm-up set. The next two should be a little more difficult. I'll turn to the side just to give you a different angle. All right, that set was definitely a little bit harder. So that would definitely be a work set. And that's kind of what this is designed to do, is just deplete glycogen a little bit, get a pump. But the next set, if I get all 10, I'll have to go up in weight next time. All right, got it. So yeah, that was 25-pound dumbbells. Next week I'll go up to 30s. That's the only way I can go up. All right, let me turn off the camera, get set up for the next exercise, go from there. All right, so yeah, you can see it. I'm gonna do a cable side raise. Since it'll come across, I can get that stretch. Plus, I'm gonna have that contracted. So it's kind of a one exercise, but kill two birds with one stone kind of thing. So I get the other position, stretch, and contract it all in one. And then I'm going to do the same for a front raise to work on our front delts. So I'll do them all for this side, then I'll switch and do them for the other side. That 10th one was getting tough. Just 3 sets of this, not 4. Cable got a little in the wrong place. All right. All right, that's it. Whew. All right, switch around, do the other side. You gotta love that graceful turn. Getting hard. Trying to focus on like moving from the elbow rather than the hand, because then you can start to do weird things. That kind of focus from the elbow helps to isolate that, middle delt. Ugh. Alright, so I'll keep the weight the same. Next week, hopefully I can get 9 or maybe 10 reps. When I can do that, I'll bump it up. Let me write that down, kind of switch things here just a little bit and do the front delt. Alright, now it's time for the front delt. Whoop, sliding off. Let me get like this. Alright, rest and do the other side. You see me kind of looking out, there's windows and a door behind in front of me, so behind the camera. And there's a storm, so I hear some thunder. You might hear it too, but that's why I kind of glance out there from time to time. going a little too heavy on this one, but I got 10 on both those sets, so that's good. Again, this kind of gets a little bit of that stretch and then contracted, so kind of a twofer. Won't do any direct rear delt today. Did enough of that the last workout and the other upper body workout. And I get a good bit of rear delt with climbing too. So I think I'm okay there. But probably need a little front delt. Side delts can never be too big. Almost 8. Thought I was going to get it and then it just died. All right, let me move over, get the other arm. Definitely start to feel that burn. So close on that 8th, but just can't get it. All right, let me set up for biceps, triceps, one of those next. Next up is supinating dumbbell curls, 4 sets of 10. All right, first set was pretty easy. All right, that set was definitely a little bit harder. Yeah, I could start to feel it at the end, so I think this weight's going to be pretty close. Definitely harder on that set. Work to get to 10, but not failure. Definitely feel the burn. That's it. I got close to 10, so I'll keep this weight the same for next time. It's 25 pounds as well. All right. Next up is basically a preacher curl, single arm, just using the incline bench for it. Figured to kind of zoom in so you get the motion. You don't have to see me. All right, so rest, do 3 sets of this. For this, don't go up all the way. There comes a point where there's no longer tension on the bicep. So I just kind of go down to where there's a stretch and then come up part of the way, 2/3, 3/4. So that's most of it, but just not quite all. Just trying to keep that tension on there. Rest and do one more. Woo. Got some veins popping out. I don't know if you can see them on the camera, but I sure feel it. That 10th one, that was a struggle. All right, let's move on to the other side. All right, easy first set. Starting to feel it. A little easier on the left than my right. Okay, had to play with the angle a little bit. Sorry, it's kind of shooting down. I'm gonna do the old school concentration curl. All right, so this gets more of the contracted position. The preacher gets a little bit more of that stretch. Be careful not to overstretch there. See a lot of times where people do that and then their bicep pops. Don't want that. Ugh. That set's definitely getting harder. Oh, that burns. All right, 8 set. Definitely couldn't get any more. Switch arms. All right, rest. All right, one more set. So like I said, I'm in a fat loss phase now. I've had good results in the past doing more of like a strength program, real low volume to go along with the calorie deficit. So I do like that, or I kind of like doing more of the bodybuilding type workouts. Maybe having, like I do now, got one that's more strength oriented, still hypertrophy in there, and then the other one a little more high rep, shorter rest intervals. Both kind of ends of the spectrum seem to work pretty well for me. All right, let that be it. Left arm's a little bigger than the right. I might have been able to get one more rep on that side, but I'll just let that be. When I have done that like lower volume or strength oriented, I like Dan John's Easy Strength. So I'd work out, full body basically 5 times a week, but it's like maybe 2 sets of 5, or 2 sets of 3, 3 sets of 2, 3 sets of 3, with a weight that I could do fairly easily, so nowhere close to failure. So it definitely didn't cut into reserves or anything. But, all right, that's it for biceps. Let me get everything set up for triceps. I do like doing biceps first, kind of just warms up the elbows a little bit for the triceps. So that's a little tip for you too. First exercise for triceps is going to be a lying dumbbell extension. There will be a little shoulder movement too. That way it kind of fits that mid-range compound type movement. Hopefully I picked the right weights. All right. I think I'll just lay here and rest. First set was pretty easy. Second set was tougher than I expected. My triceps just seemed to get tired very quick. All right, one more set. Oh, I got 10. It got hard at like rep number 2. Definitely by 4. Next up is an overhead extension. Had to make sure I wasn't going to hit the light. Hopefully I can do this because I'm getting punked. All right, first set wasn't too bad. But this definitely gets that stretch position. One more set. So just 3 for this, and then I'm going to do a push down to get that contracted position. 3 sets of that, and that's it for today. Ooh, it gets tough. Last exercise. Focusing on full extension at the bottom to get that contraction. Definitely got a pump in the arms and shoulders. All right, one more set. Ah. When you see the reps slowing down, you know you're getting close to failure. Maybe I could have got one more. I'm not sure about that on that last one. But that's it for today. So, I mean, these workouts are definitely tough. Tough in a different way for me. I don't tend to do a whole lot of pump stuff most of the time. I mean, for years, all I did was more explosive or heavy weight. So 3 to 5 reps, pretty much no more than that per set. So I do like this, again, on the fat loss phase. I think it helps. The higher reps, it's not as hard to recover from. You know, still a hard workout, just hard in a different way. In the pump, there's a discomfort with that that's different than the discomfort I have on the more strength-oriented day. I prefer that discomfort. I like it more than I like this one, but I do think this helps. It's kind of just a lighter workout, so it gives joints and different things, you know, gives them a break. You know, I'm definitely getting older, you know, mid upper 40s now, so I gotta kind of look long term as well, and not just heavy and hard and end up having joint issues. You know, so far I haven't had any, knock on wood. Hopefully I'll keep it that way. But again, that's it for today, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.